Hi, I'm Brad Butcher, and you're watching the AU Review.
You played Sydney's Frankie's last night. What was the show like? How's your Sydney experience been?
It's been great. It's been really good. That's a great venue. I don't think I've played in anything like it, to be honest. You got posters lining the walls, and I'd say a lot of history in there. So it's a good spot. Yeah,
or at least some faux history.
Probably. Yeah.
But no, they've been around for a couple of years now. They're doing some great things, and this is you're barely into the early days of your Jonestown tour.
Yeah, this is only the 5th show so far, so there's still a dozen or more to come.
Yeah.
But it's good fun. I'm seeing a bit of the country and meeting some people. So.
Just saying, you're going to Goulburn tonight.
Goulburn tonight, and then straight back to Brisbane in the morning for an Anzac Day celebration gig. It's non-stop.
Yeah. You're playing the jail in Goulburn, you're pulling a Johnny Cash. And
I haven't thought about that, but I will. I played a bit of Johnny Cash last night, actually.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. You'll fit right in. You'll fit right into Goulburn. Well, when it comes down to the festivals and the shows, tell us a little bit about kind of your experiences and.
Well, I spoke with the bar staff last night, and I asked if they had too many alternate country or singer-songwriters in at Frankie's, and they all said, no, never before. It's mainly rock music. So I gave them a taste of country. I gave them a taste of what we do, and I think they enjoyed it, and I got some good feedback. So.
Yeah.
Most of the gigs have been like that too. We've had good response everywhere we've gone, and people have been warm and receptive, so you can't ask for any more than that.
So what do we expect from a Brad Butcher gig? What's the what makes up your set? What can we expect when we go see you perform?
What I try and do is in every song is write a lyric that anyone can relate to, something that's touching and honest. And so if you come into the show, some of the songs may make you shed a tear, or they may make you smile. It's a nice, relaxed, chilled, comfortable gig. There's definitely no furniture getting thrown, or there's no fighting. So no, it's a nice, relaxed gig.
And that reflects the music on the record. You've just released your second album. Just tell us a little bit about the making of the record. When did that process begin?
It began about 2.5 years ago or more now. As soon as the first record was released, we started working on this one. I met a guy named Mark Schwersky right at the end of the first album. He actually co-wrote Conversations and Complications off that album to finish that album off. And since then we continued co-writing together, and so when it came time to record this one, it was just a no-brainer to go to New Jersey and work with him. Yeah, we were there in September last year. He put together some of the finest musicians I've ever been in the room with. Steve Holly's an American Hall of Fame blues drummer. My leg was shaking on day one when I had to meet these guys. Rich Hinman was on guitars. He's arguably the best pedal steel player in America, or in New York definitely. Just a great bunch of guys, and when you're singing your songs or you're playing your tunes, which have only come from the bedroom before, to that and hearing them come to life with those guys, it was second to none.
And you sit in a room with those sorts of musicians that can't help but inspire you.
Absolutely,
musically.
Yeah.
Did you have all your music ready when you went over there, or did you let that sort of environment kind of create a few tracks along the way?
No, we definitely worked on them in the studio as well. I'd play them to them acoustically, and if any ideas anybody had, they were all taken on board. And there was a few key changes that were made, especially on Jamestown in particular. Just things like the intros and the breakdowns and whatnot that that I had an idea of what I wanted, but then they said, "Why don't we try this?" And it turns out they were just spot on. So you take all that in while you're there, and you do your best to make the songs as best as you can.
And when you take that sort of band environment and then you put that on the stage, are you performing with other members on this tour, or is it just strictly solo?
I have been. Last night I just played as a duo, and tonight in Goulburn will be just solo, but the Brisbane Gold Coast dates I did with a full band, and I've got Mackay coming up on the 5th of June, which will have the full band up there as well, back in my hometown.
You're playing the convention centre in Mackay?
Yeah. It's a beaut. It really is. It's a good spot. They've really done well with that, and they get some major names come through town now.
It's a brand new. I was up there not too long ago. It's a brand new building. And
yeah.
It looks like they're doing some great things in that area.
They are. Yeah.
With with the difference between playing solo and playing a band, there must be a different vibe in the room when you're doing one or the other.
Oh yeah. Well, the solo gigs I tend to either sit or stand, just really create that everybody relax, have a beer, and it's a storytelling sort of night. And with the band, it's more like get up, let's dance, let's have fun. You know, I even try and spray it on Facebook as let's come and have a party. You know, when the band's there, it's hard not to want to boogie, so it's good fun.
What's the next couple of months looking like for you? A lot of touring?
A lot of touring. I still work, like I said, I've got the day job week on, week off up in central Queensland, so I do everything on my week off. So I feel like I'm constantly on the road because I'm never home, even though it's working. But the next few months, you know, there's another 10 or so shows coming up. We're off to Melbourne, Adelaide, McLaren Vale, down to Hobart and Launceston, and then we're even looking at what's it called, Darwin up north, and possibly getting over to Perth at some stage too. So
fantastic. Yeah. And you know, you made this record in Jersey. You know, are you planning to get back over to the States and take this to Americana Festival and things like that?
Heading over to the States in September, unofficially a part of the Americana lineup. I missed out on the festival, but we're going to be over there and we're going to play some gigs and do some songwriting, and I'll be back in Jersey as well. Going to catch up with the guys and put something on there too. Yeah.
See what comes out of it.
Well, there's already stuff coming out of it. You know, it's just, it seems like the more networking you can do in this industry, and the more people you can meet, and the more mates you can make, really, the more opportunities you get. And you know, the longer you stick at it, and as long as you're not a dill, you know, or piss people off, you know, you'll as long as you're okay, you'll do things well. And if you treat people right, you get that in return. So, yeah.
And do you always write? Are you the sort of person that's always writing, or do you kind of, now that this album's out, you're just focusing on that and then? No,
I've got 3/4 of another album written and I'm working on that already. I can't help myself. I caught the bug, you know. I was late to the game. I played sport growing up and got a trade and did those things, and when I finally realised what I wanted to do with my life, I was almost 30, you know. And
what was the catalyst to that?
I think realising that I really didn't like my current job, and then you play, you know, a couple of gigs and get that buzz. And we were in a covers band back in Mackay, and when you get that response from a crowd off an original song, there's nothing compares to that. So once I had that, I was on. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, I wish you the best of luck on the tour. Congratulations on the record.
Thanks, mate.
And thanks so much for taking the time to talk to us today.
My pleasure. Thank you, AU Review.